All right, I am back for the section 4.1 recording. So you had us doing problems number 18, 44, 54, and 58. So we're just going to get right to it. So number 18, I need to go back here and I'll read the problem out loud. This is going to be the same like last video. I have had already everything sorted out and solved on this original piece of paper. I don't feel like just transferring over just to save myself some paper, save the trees. So, first question for number 18 is to graph each inequality and write the solution set using both set builder notation and interval notation. So the equation or the inequality that we're given is t is less than or equal to 6. I have been finding it useful for my less than or greater than. When you do less than, less than goes to the left. I tried using the shark method, I kept messing up. So I found something that worked for me, so I just thought I'd pass that along. Maybe it works for somebody else too. So, all right, so here, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I don't have to solve anything. It's just given. I just need to rewrite it. So here is our set builder notation. We have the bracket t1/t is less than or equal to 6, and the bracket or the parentheses, however you want to call it. I forget the exact term for that, but there's that. And then with our graph here, obviously it is not to scale or the absolute greatest. Should probably a little bit so you can see there, hopefully. So I have my graph labeled. Here is 0 going to positive 6 and then negative 4. So to start off with our interval notation, what this equation or this inequality is stating is that for the first interval is anything from infinity negative 0. So anything that just goes on and on and on all the way up to positive 6. So we're going to place that in a bracket since it is less than or equal to, that equal to sign is what's going to be equivalent to the bracket, positive and then 6. So that is my answer for that. All right, the next question is going to be for number 44. It states solve and graph, write the solution set using both set builder notation and interval notation. And so I've got here 22t minus 9 divided by negative 3 is greater than or equal to 7. So going over here, like I said, once again, I kind of have everything already done here. So I set up my my inequality first. 2t minus 9 divided by negative 3 is greater than or equal to 7. So to get rid of the 3 on the bottom, or negative 3, we're going to divide it by negative 3 to both sides. So that's going to give us 2t minus 9. However, since we divided by a negative, or not divided by, we times, so either by multiplication or division, by any negative number, we need to flip our sign. So that's why it is now less than or equal to instead of greater than or equal to. So 2t minus 9 is greater than or equal to 21, since 7 times 3 is negative 21. So now we're going to solve for t, so add 9 to both sides. That gives us 2t is greater than or equal to negative 12, divided by 2 to get to t. So t is greater than or equal to negative 6. I've been having a hard time with the graph and then setting it in set builder notation correctly, so for the most part I had been using the graph even though it doesn't state to graph it. I think this one it does, but the last two it doesn't. It's just to help me, so that's probably how I will do it. Hopefully I don't get marked off for that in your class or in the next class, but we'll deal with it as the time goes. So what this inequality is stating for down here is the set builder notation. So we have the beginning of our inequality, like I said, the parenthesis bracket, whatever you want to call it, t slash, and I forgot to add the other t. We'll add the other t there. So t is greater than or equal to negative 6, and the equation. So what this equation is saying is anything, I take that back, I had to pause there for a moment to figure out what I was talking about. That is not greater than, that is less than, because as soon as I was looking at my graph, I'm like, that makes no sense. So let's try that again. So it is t slash t less than or equal to negative 6. Sounds a lot better. So with our graph here, I have it labeled, as you can see, 0, 3, 6, 0, negative 3, negative 6. So what this inequality is stating is that any number from negative infinity, so, off into the blue yonder that just goes on and on and on, can go all the way up to, including negative 6, but nothing greater than that, so less than negative 6. So we put a bracket there because it is the equal to sign as well. So that is my interval notation, and that is it for number 44. All right, now moving on to 54. This down here just states, to solve, write the solution set using both set builder notation and interval notation. This is where, excuse me, I had stated I used the graph just because it's trying to help me, and the more practice I get, the better. I think that's the goal for any student. So I've done also the graph for this one as well, even though it's not required. So then the equation is 4m plus 7 is greater than or equal to 9m minus 3, as you can see there. Hopefully it's not too blurry. So I started off by writing my equation, and then now we're just basically going to solve for m, but we need to clear out both sides. So to get rid of this negative 3, just because it's better to get rid of the negatives first, added 3 to both sides, so that gave me 4m plus 10 is greater than or equal to 9m. Then now, since 4m is the least of the amount of between the m variables, minus 4m on both sides, so that gives me 10 is greater than or equal to 5m. Now we want to get m by itself, so divide by 5 on both sides. So that gives me 2 is greater than or equal to m. So then coming back over here, in the equation of set builder notation, we have our, like I said, I'm not going to say it again, you know what I'm talking about here. I have m slash 2 is greater than or equal to m, end of the bracket, however you want to call it. On the graph here, I have it, as you can see, labeled 0, 1, positive 2, negative 1, negative 2. So what this inequality is stating is that any number 2 and greater can be used. So that's when we put on the graph, I put the bracket and then fill it in. So then for our set interval notation, it's going to be the bracket stating that it is equal to 2 and 0, 0, positive infinity. So that's for problem number 54. Now 58. Now number 58, it is still under that same group of the problems that 54 was in, so just solve, write the solution using both set builder notation and interval notation. Let's try that again. But this one is just a little bit longer with the equation, so just doing the basic algebra, and then it wasn't too difficult. So the equation was 8x minus 3 times 3x plus 2 minus 5 is greater than or equal to 3 times x plus 4 minus 2x. So then, using the order of operations, we're going to times what's in the parentheses first. So I got 8x minus 6x minus 6 minus 5 is greater than or equal to 3x plus 12 minus 2x. Combine like terms, so just to save myself some steps here and just to save the paper space, because as I mentioned before, this is scratch paper, so I try to utilize what space I can before throwing it away. So 8x minus 6x is going to give me 2x positive. Negative 6 minus 5 is going to be negative 11, so greater than equal to sign still follows down. So 3x minus 2x is just going to give me 1x, or just x by itself, and plus 12. So that gives me 2x minus 11 is greater than equal to x plus 12. Now, same thing, we got to clear sides to make something equal the variable or vice versa. So what I did is I just minus x on both sides here, then plus 11, because eventually I'm just going to do that in the second line anyways. So what that gives me is, so this here becomes positive 1x, or just x by itself, is greater than or equal to 23, which is 11 plus 12. Then going over here to set builder notation again, the beginning of our set builder notation inequality, x slash x is greater than or equal to 23, and the set builder notation, interval notation, Following the graph here, same thing. What this inequality is stating is that any number can be used up to 23, including 23, and anything beyond positive. So bracket, since it is equal to still, so bracket 23, 0, 0, positive infinity, and with the parenthesis, and that is all I've got for this. So I will see you for the next recording.